Blademaster was nice enough to send me a replay of one of his battles in the North American Flash tournament. The Battle of Cariscos. He is commanding the Sassanid Empire, of course. And I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of his opponent because it was fairly complex one. So they are deploying, I think, yeah, they're deploying further away from each other, maybe than you would expect here. For Blademaster, we have 4 Persian bows. We have, let's see, 4 Pashtigban, 2 Persian cataphracts, 2 Savaran cavalry. Interesting choice by Blademaster. Then he has 4 Daylamites. He has the Spabed general and Persian brigade up front. 3 Persian brigade. His opponent has 4 Germanic archers, so I believe max 4 of the same unit here. Let's see, Godin, a mix of Godin's chosen and Godin's men. Then he has 2 noble Germanic horse, 4 Germanic lancers, horse hewers, and Germanic noble general. He also has, okay, so he has 3 Germanic hurlers and only 1 Germanic archer. Skirmish advantage goes to the Langobards. Infantry advantage goes to the Langobards, but the cavalry advantage goes to Blademaster here, and his Pashtigban cavalry, his Pashtigban cataphracts and his Persian cataphracts will now be more competitive against melee cavalry due to a bonus against large. Melee cavalry is still sturdier, still better in extended melee fights, but there are only 2 noble Germanic horse and 4 Germanic lancers, so at least the Pashtigban are going to do a very good job against Germanic lancers, and the Persian cataphracts more of an even match really, but the Germanic lancers are, if they can hit the right targets, they are very useful. It's just against missile fire and in extended fights, they are not that good. So Blademaster going very wide here, with a fairly weak center, most of his infantry in the center here, and keeping his cavalry on the flank. So this is a very traditional setup. Skirmishers in front, infantry center, cavalry to the flanks. But his cavalry isn't so far away that they're not able to support the infantry in the center. And having the Persian brigade here, together with the Daylamite warriors in the rear, means that any cavalry unit that tries to push the center of Blademaster is going to get hit by a lot of precursors and could get its charges blocked. Now, one of the problems with the Sassanids is that their bows are fairly expensive for what they can do. 49 missile damage is quite good, but they are more expensive than the Germanic archer options. At least the Germanic bows and such. So they can potentially do a lot of damage, but they don't like to fight units like these Germanic hurlers. And Blademaster is making the right call here in focusing fire on one unit at a time so he can remove it from the field. But it will be interesting to see how well the Savaran cavalry can do. And you can see Blademaster has given attack orders on these noble Germanic horsemen, which, using flaming ammo, these Savaran cavalry are going to do a lot of damage. So far Blademaster is doing a good job in the skirmish engagements here because he is focusing fire. And here comes the push on the flanks. Some very nice shots could be incoming here from the Savaran cavalry when they decide to stop the shoot, but Blademaster sees that these noble Germanics are chasing away the Savaran cavalry, and at this point Persian shot would be so useful. Unfortunately they do not have it, so they are stuck with getting chased away. Looks like Blademaster is going to go for the center here, doing a smart thing. He's sending in his Persian cataphracts first, and if Yeah, he's able to tie down a lot of enemy units, able to hit the Golden's Chosen, so this was a great charge by Blademaster and his Persian Cataphracts. He's going to lose the Persian Cataphracts, most likely. He's going to lose this Savaran cavalry, unfortunately, because the Noble Germanics managed to hit it. But this is a decent engagement for Blademaster. Already at 79 kills here with the Persian Cataphracts, and many of them on these Golden's Chosen, or most of them on the Golden's Chosen actually, so that was a good engagement for them. The Persian Brigade rush in to sort of seal off the blob here. Very useful to send in shock cavalry and then try to seal off with melee infantry. And the cool thing about Persian Brigade is that their offensive stats are very good for the price. They just can't tough it out in extended melee, but if you manage to charge them into blobs like Blademaster did here, they can do a lot of damage. And the Daylamites here get hammered by Germanic Lancers, and Germanic Lancers already at 100 kills, so over at this flank we're getting another engagement where Blademaster sends in his cheap Persian Cataphracts, sends in the cheap Persian Brigade, and keeps his Daylamites in support. Finally, the Savaran cavalry managed to fire a bit, and they will do a lot of damage with their flaming bolts. Now, the Savaran cavalry, it looks like they actually managed to escape here, or potentially come back from routing. Not entirely sure what happened there. But the Horsehewers and the Godens are going to do a number on the Daylamite warriors here. Wisely, Pushtegman Cataphracts being pulled out from the engagement here, and Blademaster really needs to get his cavalry charges in here in order to win these engagements, because Golden's men running amok and Horse Slayers, they're not going to do they're going to do a number on the Daylamite warriors. Germanic Lancers chasing away the spar bed of Blademaster, getting stopped though by these Persian Brigade, which means that Blademaster is going to be able to send in his spar bed, finish off the Germanic Lancers. Very chaotic this battle at this point, and the Savaran cavalry is still running away from the noble Germanic horsemen. Using them like this is very useful. I mean, these noble Germanic horsemen are way too far away from the battle, and now the Savaran cavalry are going to be able to fire into the back of the noble Germanic horsemen and do quite a lot of damage to them. Not on flaming though. So although these Golden's men are running amok, Blademaster was able to send in his cavalry and from the rear here, and he's killing a lot of Golden's men and Golden's Chosen. Pushtegman crashing into a blob should cause substantial casualties here to the Goldens, and that they do. The Persian bows getting hammered soon by noble Germanics, but they are able to get off a few shots before they do, and they're out of ammunition anyway. Sending in the spar bed. The spar bed now with 50 melee damage could do a good job here against these noble Germanic horsemen. No bonus of course, but when they have 50 damage, I believe it's 10 or 14 AP, then they are going to do a good job. And the spar bed also has brace, so using brace here is going to mean that it's almost certain that the noble Germanic horsemen take a beating. And Blademaster's Savaran cavalry out of position here. The Germanic nobles are fighting Pushtegman, and Daylamites depleted, rushing in against the Godens. Might be able to do something here, but nope, the Godens Chosen. The morale is just too strong, so the Daylamites start wavering. And in the center here, Blademaster is losing. He's sending in his Savaran cavalry. They do have swords, so they do a bit of damage to units like these Godens, but since they're not able to break them, they should just get the hell away from there. And now Blademaster has his Savaran cavalry coming back in. And a lot of depleted infantry units now left on the field. The Germanic nobles got hit, but together with the Pushtegman Cataphracts, very tired. It's going to be hard for them to pull out fast enough to avoid getting hammered here, but 211 kills is very nice, and this unit of Savaran cavalry is going to be super useful now in the late game. The Sparbed holding strong, getting a lot of kills. The Golden is chosen. Now it's just a matter of actually killing them. The Noble Germanic Horsemen are pretty much off the field at this point. And although there are a lot of depleted infantry units left for the Langobards, this Savaran cavalry is going to be able to snipe them very, very effectively. When they're not running amok, Goldensmen can be broken like that. And I think the Savaran cavalry is going to prove itself very useful. Now, I believe Blademaster could have won without them here. He could have, at least in the late game. But having the attention of Noble Germanics has been very useful, because that has denied the Noble Germanics the ability to charge where it's important. So getting hit from several sides here by Savaran cavalry is going to mean that the Savaran cavalry is getting a lot of kills, and the balance of power now shifting in Blademaster's favor. So quite a nice setup here from Blademaster, and he got very important kills here on his Bestigben and on this Savaran cavalry. And although the Goldensmen get a lot of kills, putting this amount of funds into infantry can be very risky, because your funds can get taken away very, very quickly by a cavalry superior opponent. And in this case, the Sassanid Empire was absolutely the cavalry superior faction, having 4 Bestigben and the Sparbed, 2 of these Persian cataphracts, and these Savaran cavalry can do a great job also charging when they are out of bolt. So in the late game, deadly units. Thanks for sending this replay, Blademaster. I quite enjoyed that battle. Let's have a look at what happens in the next battle between Blademaster and VRDDGJS. Strength and honor.